What up? What up? What up? Ooh, we cooking up, baby. Hey, I was in here making some recipes, man. You know, I had to get my seasoning together, Cody. You know,
That's what it is, brother.
I'm.
We got to be cooking up. We got to
That's
be
it.
eating. We feasting, warming it up, cooking it up.
Mm-hmm.
All them
That's
things.
it.
Big show. Big show.
That's it, man. Look, I know. Look, we like to freestyle these intros, man. So we gonna look up.
We're about to get the
I
hook
got
up.
the hook up. That's it. Come on, Cody. You gotta get the hook up, bro. Then we gonna cook up, man. Me and my boy working on it, man. We gonna drop some beats on that thing real soon, man. I just had to get y'all that real quick before we started off, man. Yeah, man. So look, good morning, my brother. How you feeling today?
I'm feeling good, man. It's Tuesday. Like week 3's in the midst. Like it's always crazy as we sit in. I always like to look back when these weeks come upon us and go like remember like June and remember July and remember August and remember those days that are like painful to just like you're watching, you're not watching it, but you're hearing baseball's on, basketball's on, whether you watch it or not. It's like, man, this ain't football, man. It's just different. And now being in the season and you've already got 2 weeks, boom. And like in 2 days, week 3 is going to be going. And like the season just gets going so quickly. People just got to sit back and enjoy the season that is. It goes by so damn quick, as you know, Fizz. But so I enjoy as much as it as possible as we work in the space and grind every single day, morning to night. But yeah, man, I'm feeling damn good. I've been tell you what, Fizz. I tell you what, Fizz. Like this is some game right here. I've been going to the. I used to cryotherapy in college. I don't know if you know what cryotherapy is. We go up in the chamber.
Oh no, no.
So they got a chamber and it goes down to like negative 235 degrees.
Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't know that was listed as therapy though. I just thought that was just like some people did. My bad.
Yeah, well, it's I don't know. It's called cryotherapy, and you go up in there and you stand and you have your hands above the thing, and everything below your neck and your wrists gets like a nitrogen blast of like negative 235 degrees. So I haven't done that in like 3-4 years, and I was like, I've been wanting to find like a cold tub, so I found a membership. There's a cold tub down the street. And I'm only bringing this up because you asked how you doing. I'm doing fantastic because I've been sleeping like 4 or 5 hours, which is not great, but I've been ice bathing every single day for like 4 to 5 minutes in like 40-degree water. Boy, it's different. I do that like after my workouts, midday. The sleep is fantastic. Season, like usually, I'm trying to keep it going so that when I hit that, we hit that Thanksgiving lull, it don't hit. We just grind through and cook.
Yeah, nah, for sure. Cause like you said, that Thanksgiving time, man, from the end of December, bro, that's that time, man. You don't want nothing cold. So you better get it cold while it ain't too cold right now. For sure. I think I'm feeling all right too, man. I can't complain. My son's sick today, of course, on my day that I'm home. He gotta be home. So outside of that though, man, everything is everything with me. See, we got some people in the chat, man. Elijah, what's up, my brother? Good old Maddie cooking up one time. My boy E, what up? Pops with the big hand, little hand, man. What up, Pops? Theo, let me see. We got my boy, Mr. Voorhees, my brother. What's up?
What up?
Big Corey. Yeah, yeah, man. Shout out to the people, man. We appreciate y'all being up, man. And we're gonna start this thing off real, right away, Cody. We ain't gonna waste no more time, What up, Scoop? I came out with this little show sheet, man, and I thought the number one topic right now would be Bryce Young. Let's kick it off with the Bryce Young news, man. Let's get into the grits and how you like your grits though, Cody? Sugar on them, salt, pepper. How we cooking them grits before we get started, bro?
I like them cheddar grits. I like them with some cheese on it. I like cheddar grits myself. I ain't tried no sugar on it.
Come on, man. Listen,
there's been a
big debate on social media, bro. Do sugar go on grits? And hell yes, it do. Okay, that's what I'm saying, though, man. So
plain grits, sugar on, or like
you can put the cheese and then the butter and all that, but the sugar just add that. You know?
So you going sugar on top of the cheddar?
Yeah, bro. I mean, hey, you can add the fixings. Just throw a little bit of how the Salt Bae do like that. You know what I'm saying? Sprinkle some sugar on that thing, and you all right. So yeah, but the grits of the show right now. We're gonna go on Bryce Young, man. Give us what's your spill on this situation?
I mean, I feel bad for the kid because I'm not going to victory lap and be like, oh, yeah, I had him as, QB4 in that class. I knew he wasn't going to do all this shit, but because he's a good quarterback, it's just that his prototype has to fit into the perfect offense. It has to be in an offense like we're seeing with Brock Purdy in San Francisco. And, that might be a layup top, lazy answer, but it's the truth. It's the God's honest truth. As good as Bryce Young is in the NFL, you have to be under the tutelage of a play caller that understands your abilities and your inabilities, which is Shanahan, which is Kevin O'Connell, which is McVay to a certain extent, which is Mike McDaniel. And he hasn't had, he's gotten screwed the last year. And under Dave Canales, this team, the thing is, when you get a new coach, and especially, it takes more time. It takes
100%.
Even more, right?
Yeah.
I don't think he's broken like Mac Jones was broken in New England. I don't think he was ever, the mentality is also different. Mac Jones' mentality coming out of Alabama was a little bit different. I would say he was more strong-willed coming out of Alabama. Bryce Young is just a very, as much as I may talk loud and shit on shows, I'm an introvert at heart, and I think Bryce Young is a super introvert just based on conversing with him, watching him, seeing him act and do stuff, and I think that's tough in that setting, especially when you're losing and you're with a bunch of these professionals, and that makes it way harder. So 2-16 through 2 years, I don't put that full blame on Bryce Young. I put that full blame on the Carolina Panthers. We had this conversation last year when Stroud was breaking out with the Houston Texans. Had Stroud gone to Carolina, he probably still has success because of that different switch. Bryce Young probably has success, but definitely not to the quite level that Stroud did if he goes to Houston because of Bobby Slowick and because of the way Houston's built. So, I don't think Bryce Young is bad. I just think he needs a whole entire – let's be honest. If this Tua thing goes the way it goes, send Big Dog down to Miami.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they wouldn't do that right now because of the pressure of what that would bring.
Well, today, it's not today, but I'm saying off-season comes around, and they spend the first overall pick on Shedeur, Carson Beck, something like this. Then send him.
No, I'm with you, but this is my thing, right, Cody? And I'm a free Bryce guy right now, man. I'm with you 100% on the offense and the confidence and what he has lacked his whole career in the NFL. But I haven't seen one person actually come out and just admit the obvious. You just did, but admit the obvious, man. The guy never had a chance with this team. They gave away 3 first rounders, 2 second rounders, the best weapon that he's ever had on the team. They get rid of all this his rookie season. Now he's under a coach, a quarterback guru who they claim he was, who they just fired last year. Yep. They bring in a new quarterback guru. And in 2 weeks, you done gave up on the guy, man. I just watched Adam Thielen yesterday speak and spoke highly of Bryce and said, hey, that's my guy. He's the hardest worker out here, blah, blah, blah. And it could have just been a teammate just being a teammate, but he didn't down him in the media like, man, get me out of here. This dude trash or whatever the case. And I feel like with Bryce, bro, if you think about Sam Darnold, what he's in, the situation he's in right now. He been drugged through the mud his whole career. Geno Smith, he was thrown to the wolves his whole career. You got guys that go through these situations, bro, and they come out on top at some point when they get in the right situation. And I think 2 games into the season, for you to say that Andy Dalton, come on, bro. If it was I don't know, somebody behind them that we could potentially say this is why. Like, you don't bench Bryce because once you bench him, bro, unless an injury happens, just imagine if Andy Dalton tears his thumb, whatever, in practice today. Are you gonna go to Bryce and knock on his door and say, yeah, bro, we're gonna bring you back as the starter? Like, how you done broke that relationship so early in the season and it wasn't worth it by week 2. You know what I'm saying? Week 7, week 8, halfway through, I get it. But week 2, bro, Andy Dalton better put up more than 14 points his first game, or we're going to really have a problem in Carolina.
Well, what is 14 points? This is the thing. So 2 things here. One is I think it's great you brought the point of 14 points, but what the hell does that even matter when you give up 47 to the Saints and you get run by the Chargers? You just get run. Like, they're going to go to Vegas, and Vegas is not good, but they're going to run Carolina. They're going to run. And Vegas hasn't been able to run the ball on anybody. They're going to run the ball on them
for sure.
And they score 14 points. So what? They're going to give up, they're probably going to give up 4 touchdowns to the damn Raiders. The other point that pisses me off is I've been a Dave Canales backer because of what he did in Seattle as a play caller, because of what he did in Tampa as a play caller. And I lose instant respect when you go to the media and you say, Bryce is our guy. And then you walk off and then you go tell somebody that, Dalton's starting. Face the music. How many times has Tomlin walked up there? How many times has Belichick walked up there and just point blank said what the hell's happening and not beat around the bush and not lied straight to their face? Like it's complete. Carolina's, new ownership didn't help. No, like new ownership.
He's one of the worst owners in the league. Let's be real.
They need new ownership. They need new ownership.
They do. Already.
I liked the behind the scenes stuff. Honestly, there's behind the scenes stuff from this offseason, from the draft process and whatever from Carolina with Dan Morgan, and Morgan seems like he's got his head on, but he's a player now, general manager. Like he was playing football like less than 10 years ago. So I don't know if he's qualified quite to that level. They made some nice moves this offseason, but they went into the season lacking a lot of talent in the weaponry department, and their defense was obviously just not on par in the front four. And then they lost Eric Brown. That doesn't help. But I think Carolina's, technically this would be what? So they traded for the first pick 2 years ago. They had the first pick last year. They're going to have it again this year.
Yeah.
So that's going to be, so what were the Browns? Did the Browns have it 3 years in a row that one time?
That's a good question.
This is a totally not great radio, but I don't care because this is like the comp though. Like if this is like, remember the Browns the last decade before they got
I know.
They made?
I remember. I mean, they thought Baker was in that draft. Remember, they had picked 101 and 104 in that draft.
And they took Denzel and Baker?
Yeah.
And then the year before that, the year before that, they took Miles?
It was at least a year or two before, but it was definitely in that little, like 1 or 2 year circle that Myles Garrett was there.
So they took Myles Garrett 2017, Baker Mayfield 2018.
Okay.
Back-to-back years, they owned.
And they had the number 4 pick in that same draft where they took Ward. So that's 3 first-round picks in the top 4 in 2 years.
Yeah. That's pitiful. Jaguars drafted number 1 overall in 2021, 2022. That one worked out.
I mean, but if you look, I know you're looking at the draft, but I was just sitting here looking up the schedule, man, and this is the reason why I think it's a waste of time, bro. Like they play the Chargers this week. No, they played the Chargers. They play the Raiders. They go to the Bengals.
The schedule's not bad,
bro. But they play the Bengals. They play the Bears. They play Atlanta. They play Washington. They play the Broncos, the Saints, the Giants. Then the bye. Then after the bye, bro, they play the Chiefs, the Bucks, Philly, Dallas, Cardinals, Bucks. They might lose all those games after the bye, bro. I don't see them winning none of those games.
That's the thing. After the bye, it's like, good luck. But like to that point, they must really think that this team can compete if they send Andy Dalton there, because this is the dumbest thing. Like, I know Bryce Young's 2-16, but giving up on him before the Raiders,
the Raiders,
like the 0-2 Bengals, like this is just straight up bye. I would ask to get cut. I would be like, cut me then. I don't give a shit.
I would literally, I would tell my
we'll bring Matt Corral back up in here, huh? How about that?
I would tell my agent today. Tell him, man, send me out. Get me out the building. I don't want to be here. Well, do you think this is more on the owner or the coach? Because this sounds like an owner move, bro. To me, it sounds like the owner.
This is 100% the owner. The owner is. I aspired to be a GM, but I don't. I mean, this owner. I don't like saying negative things about people. But this owner fucking sucks.
Yeah, he's a clown.
He's a clown. He's the reason they didn't take Stroud to begin with. He's the reason they didn't take Richardson. Like he's the reason they took Young, because he wanted him, and he was too, nearsighted to see, or short-sighted to see that. Oh, Caleb Williams is next year, and this team's not built to win.
at all.
Oh, okay, let's just trade Brian Burns for nothing.
Nothing.
And like,
and remember they said the Rams offered them 2 first-round picks the year before for Brian Burns.
Bingo. And like you knew, like you ripped apart this team from the seams, like from McCaffrey to DJ Moore to Brian Burns. I don't know, man. It's just it's depressing to even talk about.
Sad. Yeah, it's sad, bro. It's sad. I see.
It's the new Browns. It's the new Browns. That's what.
Nah,
it is.
for sure. He said, "What would the fans have to give up Pony up Bryce?
Nothing. A 4th or 5th, maybe.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Honestly, though, I'm gonna say this, man. I think a team like the Rams wouldn't be a bad place to go if Stafford. Stafford's a little older. Put Bryce behind him. He ain't gonna play for at least 2 years. Let Bryce sit behind Matt Stafford in that offense for 2 years and wait for Stafford's contract to fade out or him, his age to hit. I had Bryce in your system, man. I mean, this could be your Brock Purdy sitting right here on your bench, man. So if I'm Sean McVay, I don't mind asking them at least what's the price right now, even if I don't necessarily want to pay it. I would make that call.
What was the Mac Jones trade? Was that a 6th-round pick? Jags?
It was, if it wasn't a 6, it was something right next to it. Like it wasn't
March 14th. So we could see this March 14th, 2025. We could see a trade with Bryce Young going. So New England Patriots traded Mac Jones. God, this is so garbage when they write this thing up. In exchange for a 2024 draft choice. Well, I think it was a 6th.
Yeah, Maddie said 6th, 7th pick swap.
Yeah, there you go.
So basically for free, they just swapped the pick. They didn't even have to give up a pick, literally. So
yeah.
I mean, yeah, man, it's a sad situation. And like I said, for week 2, bro, that's just like it's just a slap in the face, man. As a number 1 pick, as an organization, as the fans of this team, man, ain't no way I come watch them games next week. There's no way.
Bro, my I live 3 hours from Charlotte, and my brother-in-law lives in Charlotte, and he's like, hey, you guys should come up and stay at my apartment. My apartment's right down the block, and I'm like, cool. I'm gonna come watch the Cowboys score 40 on the Panthers. Awesome.
Yeah, man, that Andy Dalton, bro. I mean, and then if you think about it, bro, there's not even I know people say, "Oh, they're gonna take a quarterback next year." What's the purpose of doing that?
They're gonna take Beck or they're not. Dion's not gonna let Shedeur go there.
Not at all.
Beck will go there though.
But this is my thing though, Cody. Right? Think about this. What you just gave up to get that 101 the prior year to get Bryce. If I have the 101 this year, I'm looking for the same return from another team and pray that they give it to me.
Nobody's giving it to you.
I know. But I'm saying, would you take the quarterback there, or would you at least just try to get something to help the surrounding? Because I don't care what quarterback you put in this offense, they still might be the top 3 pick the following year, bro. This team is just not good.
100%. That's the problem. Like I just released my mock draft 1.2 at rosterwatch.com this morning. Like it literally got published like 10 minutes ago. And I put Beck at the Panthers at 101, and I'm sitting here when you go through this process of doing mocks, and you're like, I'd like to move Panthers down for obvious reasons, like you brought up. They need more than a quarterback. They need a lot of shit.
Everything.
They could go. They need a tackle. Will Campbell, Kelvin Banks, 2 good tackles there. They need they need another corner. They need a defensive tackle. They need an edge rusher. They need all this shit.
Yep.
And I'm like looking at this, and I go, well, Denver doesn't need a quarterback. Tennessee. At this point, we can unskin that cat in a minute.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Colts, no. Jags, no. Bengals, no. Ravens, no. Rams, potentially, but they're probably content sitting where they're going to end up. Washington, no. Cleveland, who knows? They're not going to trade up from 11. Raiders, if the Raiders are in the middle of the pack, if the Raiders are like the one team that could potentially move up there, right?
Yeah.
Or probably fall and be a top 5 pick by that times now, but they're 12th pick overall right now. I give them Quinn. But when you look at like the top 8, which is normally where those trades happen, right? Like between 10 and 1, nobody is there other than the Giants and Panthers that are like,
the Giants,
definitely need a quarterback. And the Giants are at 2. They're just going to sit there and go, best of luck, brother.
Yeah. Because we know if they want Shedeur, they know he ain't gonna go to them anyway. So
bingo, they're gonna play the Eli Manning thing. Like Shedeur is not gonna go to Carolina; he's gonna go to New York
for sure. For sure. And honestly, if I'm any quarterback, I know some guys are just happy to be in the building. They want to get the job, but any quarterback, man, I'm putting the Eli Manning. I ain't playing quarterback for the Carolina Panthers, bro. If I'm the 101 and I'm your agent, I'm not letting you go there because I see what they do over there and I don't want no parts of it. So if I'm the quarterback, deuces, man. See you next year. I'm out. So yeah, I think we good, man, on them Carolina Panthers, man. They making my stomach hurt already, bro.
Yeah, I hate talking negativity, but
Nah, for sure.
Franchise, this thing is toasty, bro.
And I wanted to really get into some more negativity, but we'll say that for the next one. Let's talk about some breakout rookies, man. I know I slept on your boy. He looked very good, man. So I'm gonna let you kick it off with Malik Nabers, man. Give us your spiel. Tell us how you feeling, because I know that's your guy, man. Go ahead, talk him up.
All we got to say is 64% target share, baby. This got me smiling ear to ear, literally. I don't ever want to see Wan'Dale Robinson lead this team in targets again as well Malik Nabers is healthy. You know, people were fading the Nabers thing because, you know, Daniel Jones sucks. Yeah, well, Daniel Jones does pretty much stink. He's not that good. But here's the deal. In 2015, the Jacksonville Jaguars, I said this on a different pod before the season, Allen Robinson in his sophomore season had 151 targets. 151. He caught 80 balls. 80 for 151, which is like 55%. 1,400 yards, 14 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Right? What do we just see from Nabers? 18 targets, 10 receptions,
yep.
127, and a tug.
Yeah.
If we don't even have to get that every week. If we get 12 targets every week.
Yeah, because
I'll take 18 any week you want to give them to me.
Week 1 he had 7, so I'm with you.
That's what I'm saying. But we know that was wrong, right? We know Wan'Dale got 12 right last week, and we knew that was wrong. That should have never happened. But if we can at least get 10 to 12 every week, this kid's going to eat. And he dropped a couple balls, and he dropped one at the end of the game that really was heavy. It was a big one that would have probably helped the Giants potentially win this game. But the dynamic ability that Nabers has is, as long as he can stay healthy, it's just too tantalizing and just too sick. So I got to run the table on Nabers. He's, a 64% target share is just, it's got to be a world. I tweeted that. I was like, it's got to be a world record or something. I know guys like Cup and Brandon Marshall have had some nuclear target games, but with just 28 pass attempts, it's got 18 targets, which is crazy. But
so I'm gonna say this: do you think that the Commanders' defense is probably a good reason why, though? Because that was, their backfield
it's worst defensive backfield in football.
Exactly. Yeah. So I just wanted to say, if next week he only get 9, man, don't get your heart broken, man. That's all I'm.
Well, the thing is, targets is targets, right? Receptions.
True. Okay. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah. I mean, if this guy's getting his 12 targets, I'm going to be content. If he only catches 6 of them balls, it is what it is. I expect that. I don't expect these balls to be accurate from Daniel Jones. I want targets. You give me targets, I'll take what Malik gets. Right.
I'm with you.
I'm betting on the talent of Malik Nabers. If I can get 12 targets, I'm betting on this guy catching 6 to 8 of them. I'm not betting on him being goddamn Amari Cooper and catching 4 out of 17 footballs.
Nah, I'm with you. I saw it. I was thinking about you the whole game. I'm like, damn. All right, man. He been talking them up, man. So I like that, man. I think the guy I want to speak on, and he only had 8 targets when week 1 he had 3, is Marvin Harrison, man.
Oh.
Well, that dude had 120 in the first quarter, it seemed like, right? He had at least like $1 in the first quarter.
His whole stat line was the first quarter.
Yeah, because I'm looking out, and when I saw how he finished, I said, damn, he only finished with 130. I thought he had that in like the first half or something. So he only had 4 receptions out of 8 targets. But I mean, granted, they was up so big in this game. I guess they didn't need to continue to feed him. The Rams just totally stunk it up. That was probably the worst offense I've ever seen from the Rams since Fisher days. So man, Marvin Harrison. Yeah, it was a long time ago, Cody, but I don't think McVay had no games like that, man.
Oh boy, that's a stinker right there.
Yeah, man, 8 targets, 4 receptions, 130 yards though, and a touchdown. That was sweet, bro. And then, like you said, first quarter, because I was looking like, man, he got this. I'm waiting, but to see that early, just shut down all the rumors. I don't need to feed him. That ain't my job, and all this garbage. we was hearing in the media from Kyler, that was the way to start the game off, man. That's how we want to see your number one receiver get treated when the game start off.
It was crazy. And that was like one note that I had written down was Kyler looks like a player who can compete for the MVP this year.
Yeah.
Like,
sure.
And the Rams don't look good. Like, that was one question I wanted to ask you about the Rams, but the Rams don't look good. The Niners are now like getting berated with injuries. Now Debo after Christian McCaffrey, and of course, Kittle's not exactly the picture of health, but Seattle's winning games, and Arizona, like this Kyler, if this defense can be competent, this Kyler can win you a lot of football games.
For sure. I mean, honestly, I think Seattle is still maybe on paper the better team, but they both can make the playoffs in this division, man. And
I think I agree.
And the 49ers take a step back. I'm not saying that they will, but no Debo. You got Ayuk still trying to figure out what he got going on. Pearsall might miss the whole season.
Dude, Ayuk don't look right, does he?
Yeah, bro, and this is what's wrong with the Panthers, not to go back, but you bench Bryce the whole preseason and expect him to go out he did like he was some superstar. This man need every rep he can get, and you let him sit out the whole preseason, bro.
He ain't CeeDee Lamb, son.
That's what I'm saying, man. I mean, he ain't Pat Mahomes. He ain't none of these dudes. And you let Bryce Young sit out the whole preseason, man. Think about all the players that's getting injured right now. I'm gonna get to that in a minute, but all these injuries are really stemming from no preseason action. Jamar Chase all over the place. He angry and he missed the preseason. T. Higgins no preseason. He hurt. I mean, when you letting guys not play, man, and warm up, and the Chiefs, they played, I think, the third game. They played the whole first half of the preseason. What championship team plays the third game of the preseason, bro? The Chiefs, because they understand that you got to go out here, get in football shape, get your mind, your mental, your physical in order for these games. And to see Bryce not play at all, and a lot of these players, man, that's what the 49ers are lacking right now. Ayuk didn't come through. He stayed away. He was tweeting Jaden Daniels highlights on his Instagram, all types of crap. So no Debo, man, they're gonna have a rough day.
You good, dog? You paused.
Good, I'm good. Okay, you see me?
Yeah, your screen's up. Now you're back. You're good. Good.
Okay.
Dog.
Yeah, nah, but CMC, like I said, not being there, man. It just don't sit right with me with this team right now, man. They need a little help. So, I don't know, man. It ain't looking good for a lot of the NFC West, the guys that we thought were going to be the top of this division. And I'm liking what I'm seeing out of Seattle, bro. So
there's one player in Seattle I want to talk about, but I do want to ask our man Big Hand Little Hand in the chat.
Pops, what up?
What are we hot on? Just remember, it's week 2. It's still early.
It is.
What are we hot on? I mean, I feel like a lot of these takes we got are pretty, but a lot of situations are.
But that's the thing, though, Pops, right? It is only week 2, but that's what we said to Carolina Panthers. They panicking already. It's only week 2. You done got rid of your future already. So a lot of the takes that I think we going off is that's how the NFL is today, bro. Nobody has time to wait. Nobody waiting for nothing. I mean, the Commanders, right? I think they comfortable because they know they got time. They got to build. The Raiders. Nobody thought the Raiders were gonna be what they are right now. But if you not telling me that the Baltimore Ravens at 0-2 not panicking right now, you tripping, because the Baltimore Ravens right now, bro, playing the Dallas Cowboys this week, and that game could be a shootout. If they go 0-3, you can guarantee and believe they ain't gonna say it's only week 3. They gonna say, man, hold up, it's time. Like, like the Bengals look out of sync. They panicking. It's a lot of teams that are panicking right now, and it's only week 2. But man, week 2 in the NFL, bro, is like week 12, man. It's injuries, people getting hurt. It's getting dangerous, man. So, I mean, I'm looking at other. Speaking of, go ahead, Cody. I was gonna go to another rookie, but go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, because we were on the NFC West, I was gonna ask about JSN, but if we can talk about that later if you want to keep rookies.
Yeah, no, all right. So right after this is my last one. I want to get on Brock Bowers, bro. We gotta speak on Brock Bowers. I can't let you move on without speaking on Brock, man.
Record receptions.
Listen, bro, 9 for 9 this week. 9 for 9. Every catch, every ball that was thrown in the air, he caught it. 98 yards, and he hasn't scored yet. But if you look at week 1, 8 targets. Week 2, 9 targets. And we all thought he going to get moved in slow. We don't know how the offense is going to go. And, Michael Mayer still is there, so they can run 2 tight ends, Devontae Adams. Man, Minshew said, listen, Brock Bowers is my man. I'm throwing it to him. And whoever else open, I'm going to go get the ball. But it looked like they got the one in Las Vegas, man. So I definitely want to highlight Bowers before we got up out of there and moved on from that.
Bowers, watching those stat lines, and I see we got Super J here in a minute, but I just want to get this take in on Bowers. Bowers, I saw the Raiders tweeted out mid-game, and I was trying to find who. I'm not Elias Sportsboro, so I don't know this offhand, but I was trying to figure out who the second tight end was, rookie tight end in history in receptions through 2 games. But I do know that our man Brock Bowers set the record for most receptions through first 2 career games. And the way this offense looks, we weren't even sure if they were going to be able to keep Devontae Adams fed. And Devontae Adams goes 9 for a buck 10 and a tuggy this week. Last week, I know he was heavily targeted. I'm trying to pull up the box, but I know last week he was heavily targeted against the Chargers. Didn't do a ton, but he had 5 for 59. Like, Adams is fine. The thing is Bowers is now like being that too, and it's crazy to see. Minshew. We'll see how long this Minshew thing goes. Every year it's like this, right? Minshew is hot and cold, but if he can stay hot, this is going to be a very, very, very interesting team.
Nah, for sure. And especially it's more interesting because we ain't expect nothing out of it. So you expect for it to be interesting when it looked like this. So, man, shout out to Brock Bowers. And I know we got our super chat. I know, man. He said the Ravens know our offensive line is a problem. And we all know. I mean, we saw week 1 against the Chiefs, bro. That was my biggest take away from the game. Not that y'all look good. It's just Lamar that had no time to run. And I think as bad as Dallas D-line looked this week, I think this week they a little pissed off about what they just gave out that last week, man. So the problem with the Dallas Cowboys is, though, we are terrible against running the quarterbacks, bro. Running quarterbacks, they do what they want to do against us. And I got a feeling Lamar's going to have a day. That game to me, now I ain't trying to get onto the game, but I believe that game to me is going to come down to who has the biggest turnover moment. It could be a shootout. It could be a dud for dud, kickoff. A field goal for field goal. Like the Ravens and the Cowboys, bro, they play according to their competition every single time. If the Ravens play the Raiders, you're gonna have a game like that. If the Cowboys play the Commanders or some team they should beat, man, they always play them bad. So I think this week, man, with the Cowboys and the Ravens, man, it's gonna come down to who has the worst turnover rate and who can make the biggest play. So. But I like both teams this week. Honestly, I couldn't even pick a winner. I'm gonna have to pick one, but I like both teams in that matchup, man. Since you brought it up, let me see what we got here, Cody. I'm gonna let you just speak on this, and we're gonna move on. Brian Thomas, man, give me some Brian Thomas love, and we're gonna get to the next topic, bro. I feel like Brian Thomas need a little bit of love because he has secured the receiver one. Christian Kirk had 1 reception for minus 10 yards or 1 yard or something, bro. So Christian Kirk right now, man, is cooked. I don't know what's going on, but Brian Thomas Jr. right now, man, is that dude on the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Speaking of cooked, Christian Kirk looks cooked. Ingram's hurt. Trevor Lawrence ain't worth it. Ain't worth the contract. That's a massive discussion.
We could talk all day about that.
That's a show in itself. But Brian Thomas needs more targets. Point blank, period. Week after week. He just needs more targets. He needs more consistency. Last week we saw him drop a touchdown that would have been his second. He ended up with 4 for 47 and a touchdown. I don't think he dropped it. It was pass interference. Sorry. And he didn't end up dropping it, but it was pass interference. Should have ended up with 5 for 70 and 2 touchdowns in his damn rookie debut. And then this week, again, he was targeted downfield, but it didn't feel like he was targeted downfield enough, right? 4 targets again, 2 for 94. He takes that 166, and it felt like he had some more gas in the tank. And I saw him down there at Jacksonville training camp, and I was like, this dude, they're going to push this ball to him multiple times a game. I didn't think he was going to be the Dolla because we saw enough out of Gabe. We saw enough out of Ingram, enough out of Christian Kirk. But the thing that I overlooked was that the fact that all of these 3 guys, Gabe, Evan Ingram, and Kirk, They literally only work within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage. And Thomas is just like, yo, deep crosser, yo, fade, yo, deep. Like, and the problem is like the dude's legs, like that DK Metcalf touchdown this weekend, when he opened up into the open field and he was high stepping, his high steps, dude. I don't know if I've ever seen longer legs in my life. Like the way he was high stepping, it was like, when when them soldiers are like in a parade and they got like a gun and some bagpipes.
And they step, marching. I got
and them legs are just like kicking straight out. Like that's what that was just crazy. But that's what like I see out of Brian Thomas is like that potential. And I would say Thomas is the developmental route runner. He's got a lot of work to do. But DK was kind of the same way. DK could run routes, but he was very boxy in and out of break. Thomas is showing right away that he can be successful, and that is massive, I think, for his dynasty stock, and I think for his overall output. And he has to be treated as such. And I know it's going to be boom busty from the jump, and it's going to feel like Rashid Shaheed, but you're seeing what's happening with Rashid Shaheed right now, and you can kind of translate it a little bit to Jameson Williams, where they're giving him a shot or 2 or 3 per game. And Brian Thomas earns his flowers, gets his flowers, and this thing's going to hinge on old 48%er Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah. Yeah, and honestly, again, Christian Kirk was all summer. I was hearing Christian Kirk, Trevor Lawrence. And I heard we heard about the BTJ because of course he's a rookie coming in. But that LSU helmet, man, is yet to fail us, bro. That LSU helmet, bro. Listen, when that helmet is on the side, that tiger right there. Just trust the process, bro. That's what it's seeming like to me. Ohio State and LSU just seem to push them out every single year, man. So, all shout out to BTJ, man. I'm sorry, Maddie, but we ain't talking about no Brian Robinson today, Playboy.
No, I'm bringing him up right now because Maddie brought him up, and I'm gonna say this. I was, talk about training camp stuff. I was at that training camp too, and one of my biggest takes coming out of there was Brian Robinson's role. And I'm pretty sure through 2 games, I haven't even looked. Brian Robinson has to have 250 all-purpose yards on 26 touches, and he's got 6 receptions. That's got to be about what that stat line is, and that's pretty dirty. That's pretty dirty for sure. Because the 8th round Brian Robinson.
Well, I was going to ask you now that you brought this up because I had a conversation yesterday, and who is getting the receptions in his team, bro? Because Terry McLaurin ain't doing nothing.
Zach Ertz, baby. Zach Ertz.
It seemed like the running backs too, though. Brian Robinson. I mean, Eckler got some passes. Eckler had a kick return. I think it was called back.
Eckler had some gas this weekend. He looked good.
It's the running game that's really this offense, and that offensive line, with as bad as it is, we wouldn't expect that. But man, Terry is not looking like the guy right now. I mean, we know it's gonna have some bumps and bruises with that offense, but De'Ami Brown, who knows? There's really nobody else to really speak about in the receiving game, but Brian Robinson, Eckler, and Jaden Daniels, man, those are the guys. The guys is running with the legs on the ground, man, and pushing that offense on the ground is the ones that really worth looking at and talking about in this offense. So shout out to B-Rob, man. We're going to give you a little bit of love on that one, man, because you've been talking him up. That's your guy.
Can we go to also, Maddie, you can take this Terrace Marshall thing and shove that wrench up your ass because that.
Come on, Maddie, man.
Is he in the Niners practice squad right now? I want to talk about Jackson Smith and Jigba, and I want to talk about these Seahawks for a split.
Okay.
But first, I want everybody in here to click that like button, click subscribe, drop a comment.
Yes, sir.
Want to drop a super chat? We'll pop it up on the screen. We'll talk about it. If you got a take, we love your takes. That's what we're doing. We're talking about takeaways from the week, rookie breakouts, biggest takeaways, matchups for next week, injuries, all this stuff. We're covering it all on the cook up. So drop a comment, drop a like, and drop a subscription. Drop a subscribe.
Yeah. Hey, look, and also don't forget, you can comment after the show too, bro, because we always tap in with y'all after the show. So don't think just because you ain't catch us live that we won't get back with you. So any comments, questions that y'all want, or just want to give us a shout out or whatever in the comments after the show, I'm gonna definitely get back with you on that too. So go ahead, Cook Cody.
Jackson, Smith, and Jigba.
Talk about them.
We've been waiting.
Yes, sir.
We've been waiting for this for a minute. Last year it was like, it's coming. It's coming, and it never came. It never came last year,
Yeah.
and it came to a head this week though.
Yes, sir.
16 targets.
Mm.
2 for 2 last week for 19 yards. Two targets, 2 receptions, 19 yards. And I had a lot of start-sit questions this weekend about Jackson Smith and Jigba and I was like, listen, dog.
I benched him every time I got a chance, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I was
We've
scared.
been playing this game for a year. We ain't seen it yet.
Yep.
Like you just can't. You couldn't do it. So if you played him,
kudos.
You're lucky and kudos. You're lucky as shit because ain't nobody had the faith that was fitting to happen yesterday or on Sunday. But 16 targets, 12 receptions, $120. The genie is out the bottle. Period.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And also his counterpart, DK Metcalf, bro. I mean, that whole offense. Now think about this, right? The Cincinnati Bengals had one of the worst offensive showings we ever seen against New England last week. So I was thinking coming into this game that Seattle had a tough task and it was not going to be pretty for nobody really on the offense, but maybe it's Zach Charbonnet or something. And the way Zach Charbonnet went out there and balled, DK balled, JSN balled. I mean, Geno is looking like a good quarterback in his league, one. But two, I mean, to see the New England Patriots, I got to get them a little bit of love too, bro, because they only lost by 3 points. And Ramondre Stevenson had another 20 carry game, 80+ yards and a touchdown. So as much as New England isn't winning games, which I don't think they're going to win, this is the difference, Cody. I tell people it's a difference between realizing you got a bad team and you need to lose, but having a bad team that looks like you can compete and still lose, right? Because we look at these teams and let's just say the Carolina Panthers, let's just say they play their way out of the top 3 somehow, some way. I don't know how, but as a fan on draft day, I'm going to sit there and say, damn, was it really worth winning those games, bro? I don't know. I wish we would have had this number 1 pick. But when you the New England Patriots, and we know you're not going to win this year, but when you competing every single game and you look like you can win, you just missing 1 or 2 pieces, that's what I want out of my losing team. I don't want my losing team to just win 8 games and I know that they still are 10 years away from winning. But if my losing team looks good, but they still lose, there's nothing wrong with that. That's what I try to convince these Commanders fans sometimes, bro. It's nothing wrong with losing. It's how you lose because your team isn't ready to win right now. And the New England Patriots, bro, they look like a team that's literally going to ground and pound, play defense, and we're going to smack you in the mouth. And once we get the number 1 receiver in this draft coming up or whoever we need, now we're going to start stacking and winning games. So I love what the New England Patriots got going on. I ain't want to skip off of JSN and DK too fast, but I had to give Maddie a little bit of love, man. Them New England Patriots, man, they doing their thing, bro.
And he ain't in the chat dropping no comments, but I do want to give a little shout out to our boy Antonio Gibson. Because Antonio Gibson just silently, quietly, nobody's talking about it.
Had 12 points.
100 yards. He had 100 all-purpose
points,
yards.
bro.
I don't even know the last time he had 100 all-purpose.
I didn't even know his stat line. I just saw he had 12 points and was like, what the hell? So
I'm going to look it up because I don't remember the last time he had 100 all-purpose yards. It had to have been his rookie season up there in Washington. Let me pull this up here quick.
Yeah.
Because he had 96 on the ground, and he's averaging, I don't even know what the hell he averaged. We averaged like 9 yards per carry this weekend. And he had a big 45-yard run. Yeah, 9 yards per carry, 11 for 96, and then he had 1 reception for 7 yards, which is like that's where all the work usually comes from, right?
Yep.
So let me pull up his career game logs here. Total yards. Pop it up.
But that's that ground and pound, bro. That's how New England going to play you every week.
4 career 100-yard rushing games. And 2 other games where he surpassed 100 yards total. So 6 career games. The last time he did it, 2021 against Seattle, rushed for 111 yards on 29 carries.
Yeah, they kind of force-fed him to get to that 100 yards, right? 29 carries.
2022 against Jacksonville, he had 14 carries, 58 yards, and 7 receptions for 70. So he hasn't had a 100-yard game in 2 years. And all the rest of them came in 2021, 2020. So, I mean, Gibson, little resurgence here. Shout out, Tony.
Yeah, man. Like I said, shout out to New England Patriots, bro. I really thought that they was gonna smack Seattle in the mouth, and they did have a good game on both ends. Of Seattle just outplayed them, but I feel like they are going to compete every single week, no matter who they play. And I don't expect a lot of blowouts in New England, man, this year, like people thought. So again, if you're gonna lose with some pride, brother, because if you're gonna go out like the Panthers, you might as well get the 101. Getting the 107 ain't gonna help you at all. So I don't mind New England at the 107 because they look like they just a piece away. So now we're gonna get into let's get into some bad offense, Cody. I got 6 games here. I'm gonna let you just pick 2 out of the 7 games and just break down just 2 of these. The Ravens versus the Raiders, right? Terrible offense. Cowboys versus the Saints, another terrible offensive game. The Colts versus the Packers. I don't know what happened on that game. Detroit versus the Bucks, terrible for the Lions. The Bears and the Texans, we knew it was going to be tough, but we expected a little bit more out of that Bears offense. The Rams and the Cardinals, which I don't even know if you even want to talk about that. And the 49ers and the Vikings. Out of these 6 or 7, bro, give me 2 of these games that you want to speak on the offensive side.
It's easy. I want to talk about the Colts and the Packers, but okay. I want to first start with the Rams. And the Rams are on the other side of that Cardinal game we talked about with Marv.
Yep.
Rams scored 10 points here. They have no Puka. They lose Cup in this game. Kyron looks inefficient as all hell because his offensive line continues to not be great. They haven't really addressed this offensive line in a couple of years. Are the Rams officially cooked?
Well, I say this. Last year, we thought they were going to be cooking, and they surprised us and made the playoffs. But this year, we thought they were going to make the playoffs, and now they look surprisingly cooked, bro. So, I don't know, man. I mean, without Cooper Kupp, without Puka, you got to be cooked, bro. I mean, there's no other way to put it.
There's no AD either. They had AD last year. There's no AD. And, that's just
And that's what I'm saying, bro. At this point, if you Sean McVay, why make a trade for a guy or I mean, I know you don't throw away years, but I don't see them changing anything up in this offense or this defense, but anyway, to help them get through the storm, bro. So I'm gonna ride this storm out, man. Just bank on me being a good coach and see what happens. But they are officially cooked though. They definitely the worst team in that division right now.
Niners, who are pissed off, going back home this week at the Bears. Which is going to be a pretty good game, but it's in Chicago.
Yeah.
And then the Packers, and Jordan Love is 100% going to be back by then. And then a bye. There is a what % chance the Rams are 0-5 going into that bye week? I got my number. I want to know your number, though, first.
I'm going to give it 75%, bro. I'm going to go 75.
I was
going to get him. I was going to get him. I'm going to just get him a call. I'm going to say 75, bro, because like you just said, the Rams, the 49ers are pissed off. And almost everybody on that team, bro, on their schedule, maybe you said they play the Bears too, right?
At the Bears and then home against the Packers and then a bye.
I would give them the Bears game because the Bears, if they could win a game, I'm not saying I'm banking on them, but I think the Packers, man, they like I said last week, bro, not Sean McVay, LaFleur, he knows how to scheme him up, and he made Malik Willis look regular, efficient. He didn't look terrible. All the receivers pretty much had a good day. Christian Watson had a donut, but he's a boom bust player. If we had to pick one out of the offense, and they ran that ball, man, to perfection. Josh Jacobs had 150 yards plus. If you look at what they're going to do, as long as they don't turn the ball over, they're going to do what New England is doing right now. They're going to smack you in the mouth on defense and on offense, just try to be competitive without turning the ball over. So if I had to give the Rams one game, I would say the Bears, because the Bears can't seem to get out of their own way on offense. If they let this offense click this week, though, maybe they come to against the Rams and figure it out. So it's on the Bears on that game. It's not even on the Rams, but they might not win none of those games, bro. I don't know, man.
They're on the 0-5 watch. We think they're just about cooked.
Yeah.
The other game was the Colts and the Packers. The Colts were 2.5-point favorites. They ended up being 2.5-point favorites. I believe it started as a look-ahead line. Packers 5.5. with Love out, the thing moved all the way to 2.5 in favor of the Colts, which is a 7-point swing on the road, which is crazy. But, I mean, quarterback does matter.
Mm-hmm.
Malik obviously gets the game. He goes 12 for 14, 122 yards and a touchdown. He attempts one pass over 20 yards, completes it 35 yards down the right sideline. The only other one that went over 15 yards was incomplete on the right sideline. 8 out of his 14 footballs went to the right side of the hashes. Only 4 went to the left side. They knew exactly what they were doing. Nothing was in the middle of the field. Everything was outside, where he obviously felt the most efficient, felt the best. But the biggest takeaway I had from this game was, first off, we talked about this in the preseason, the Packers continue to have the best roster in the NFC. I tried to convince my guys, Alex and Mitch, last week in the Circa Millions contest to take the Packers, but it was impossible to convince anybody to take the Packers and the points with Malik Willis at quarterback. I understand that, but I said this strictly because of the trenches and because of the roster. And the Colts have a better offensive line, but the Packers have a better roster and a better cohesive offense and defensive line.
Yeah.
And everybody knew that the Packers were going to run the football. The Colts knew this. Houston ran for Mixon ran for $155 on his own in week 1 against this Colts defense.
Yeah.
You, me, your grandma, my grandma, our unborn kids, everybody knew they were going to run this football with Josh Jacobs a lot.
100%.
And what they do is
they ran the ball.
They ran the shit out of it.
150 plus, bro.
And they didn't do anything to stop it.
Nothing. No adjustments whatsoever, bro.
$150. Like they just said, hey, Jacobs, take it. Take it. And it didn't matter. Malik ran it a couple times. Jaden Reed ran it. Marshawn Lloyd ran it. Doesn't matter. Just run the ball 65 times, and we're going to win this game. And it's going to be pukey. And, I mean.
A win is a win, man. They got it.
How did the Colts. This Colts team is in trouble.
Bro, I was just about to say, but I look at it as, what was the Colts doing on offense? I get that the Green Bay Packers are running the ball and punching us in the mouth, but when the Colts got the ball, man, what are we doing? I ain't see not one highlight out of that Colts offense except for Alec Pierce caught like a big play, and that was it. I didn't see no highlights on the red zone, bro. I didn't see the Colts one time on that thing, man. Like, what the hell going on in Indianapolis right now? And at least Anthony Richardson, use your legs, bro. Something. I don't know what was going on in that game. I didn't get to watch a lot of it, but bro, I didn't see on that red zone. I didn't hear one time the Colts. Like, I don't know what the hell was going on in that game, bro. It was totally confusing, man. For real. I mean, I think they scored one time with Alec Pierce, but I even missed that highlight. Like, it was just bad, man.
The Colts, Jonathan Taylor rushed for 74, 80. He had 80. Wait, did he have 90? He had 90 yards in the first 22 minutes of the game. Sorry, first 37 minutes of the game. And at the time, the score was 13-0 Packers. And they completely went away from Taylor. And they scored a couple times. But he averaged 8 yards per carry.
And they stopped going for him. They stopped using him.
I want to know how Taylor averages almost 9 yards per carry. Richardson runs it 4 times, averages 9 yards per carry. Richardson can't throw for dick in this game. He has 3 picks, 50% completion percentage. How you don't adjust by halftime. You're down at halftime in this football game, 10 rip.
10.
You don't adjust and go, all right, Richardson's not able to throw the football today. Taylor can run the football today. Richardson can run the football. RPO. And let's lean 80%, pull it, run it, go.
I mean, if you're looking at what's across from you, that's exactly what the Packers was doing. So look, at halftime, hey, let's go look at what they're doing. Clearly it's working. And why don't we do it? Like, I don't understand what the hell the Colts had going on this weekend, bro. I have no clue what was going on with the Colts, man. So yeah, I mean, out of those games, man, I think I'm with you. I think I wasn't going to speak on it, but I'm going to just keep it short and brief, man. This Cowboys game was a joke. It was just one of them games where, honestly, Cody, I expect one or two of these games every year from us. All the hype, all the we gonna do this and do that, and then we go out there and get smacked in the mouth. Honestly, I'm not worried at all. I have no worries about the game or what happened. I just know how people feel. I'm gonna let the people talk, man. I ain't getting no Derek Carr comments in here, so thank you, because everybody know how I feel about Carr, man. So say what you got to say about the Carr, doing his thing, but Alvin Kamara is still that dude in this league. And yeah, that's all I really got to say about that game, man. I don't have too many words on that one, man.
Derek Carr about to win that MVP award. It's about to be Derek Carr and Kyler Murray sitting there at NFL honors.
Man, get Carr out of here, man. I can't. Cody, he do that, bro. I'm never doing content again, man. I'm out of here, man. Retiring, man. So look, before we move on, man, look, let's bring up we got our cook-up session, man, with the people sending in their biggest wins and losses for their fantasy team. So let's get into that right quick, though, Cody. See what we got. All right, what we got? Pineapple. No, pineapples don't go on pizza, brother. How you feeling about that, Cody? Is this a food league? What's going on here? Spicy meatballs?
This guy's his handle is drinking bleach, so I think if you drink bleach, I think pineapple goes on pizza. It probably tastes right, but
hey, listen, this sounds like these boys cooking up though, man. They got pineapples on pizza, they got spicy meatballs, man. These dudes over here cooking for real, man. So that was a good one. What's that about? Good 85? Yeah, 85. Okay, all right. We got 85 is the highest right now. Shout out to drinking bleach, man. Hopefully you stopped this morning. Let me see, Big Corey. Oh, that 85 went away real fast, brother.
The dog walking right there.
First of all, Big Corey, charge your phone, bro. All right, 17%. I ain't feeling that, man. All right. Anybody can beat Mike by 100, man. Shout out to you. But knowing Mike, he probably got 8 quarterbacks and he's trying to tank anyway. So you know how he do. See what else we got. Okay. Cody had to. Oh, okay. Hold up. So look, it's funny because last week Adam dropped in his blowout 5 minutes after the session is over with. So I'm glad this one got it on time, and you gave him some big smoke on this one though, bro. So
this is in the staff best ball draft.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Man, I think my team had like 90 points in that league, bro. I lost everybody, bro. Puka, my team is in bad shape, brother. Bad shape.
I got that QB10 Sam Darnold on that squad right
man. There. And listen, that's my guy. That's Sam, my guy, man. I've been talking about him all season, man. Let me see. We got the Shake Shack, Michelangelo, man. What's up with these pizza guys, man? There's a lot of pizza going on out here. What do you got? 136, 137? No, Cody. What you think? Is that the highest so far?
96 and 31 is that 137?
Yeah, 137 and some change, right?
He beats Big Corey right there. That's a dub.
What was the other highest one? This was
Big Corey was up 133.
Okay. All right. Yep. 137. Cool. And I got, let me see.
Jeez, look at the scoring in this one.
Holy. Yeah, man. I don't know. We ain't seen them. We ain't seen the stats. So, hold on. How y'all 1-0? Y'all missed the first week?
He must be a week late.
Yeah, they must have drafted and waited too long. All right, we gonna cut this score in half, bro. We ain't feeling that 1 week, man. 1-0, but
or maybe they play double weeks. Maybe they play double weeks. This is hella high scoring.
Yeah. Nah, that's real. Maybe they got IDPs or something. Okay, all right. Mike wasn't gonna leave without beating somebody though, man. So
cool.
All right, come on, Coop, man. You got the warp too, brother. You supposed to be winning. You supposed to be 18-0, man. Anytime Coop lose, I feel good because I feel like, all right, at least I beat the brains of the operation, man. Who was a winner again? You said Big Corey was a winner? Yeah.
They got this week.
No, they won. It was who's the 137?
Or
there we go.
There you go.
There you go. That was
Victoria's Secret 12.
Yeah. Man, I don't forgot my boy name. Look, don't forgive me, Playboy. I did. He was at the school, and I know you went out there, Cody.
Shut the fuck up.
No, he was though. I'm saying that was because he took CD Lamb from me. That's probably why. Damn. And once I see him, I'm gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. I know who it is. Dog. I got a lot of stuff going on, bro.
if y'all are tapped in, just know that you can get featured in that, and that you just gotta go over to Discord. You got to tap in patreon.com/South Harmon, and you tapped in on Discord. We got a whole channel dedicated.
Yep.
getting cooked, and we'll feature you up on the show.
That's it. And we're gonna spice it up during the season, man. We still cooking some stuff up, but we're gonna get some music cracking, some little slides, all that on it. We're gonna definitely clown some of these dudes getting smoked. And that was Peyton who won that, man. And the reason why I forgot him, because he was hiding out during a talent show and he ain't do no talent. So that's why I forgot you, Peyton, man. I had to forget you for a minute because you was hiding out, brother. All right, well, I got 2 more segments though, Cody, and I really want to get into this because this ain't a segment. This is just terrible news, and I want to get into some injuries, man. I wrote down a lot of injuries. I feel like they need to be talked about. And Puka, say 6+ weeks. CMC looking like 6+ weeks. Pacheco 6 to 8 weeks. Tua with a concussion, who knows, right? I think, me personally, he said he's not retiring, which I ain't think he would. And they got a bye week, I think, week 7. So, or week 6, I think. They come back week 7. I'm not sure if he'll come and start week 7, but I think we're going to start hearing about, Tua looks good. He's revving up after that bye week on week 6. So, let's just give him 5 weeks for the moment. Justin Jefferson hurt his knee. I think he day-to-day. I didn't hear much about it during the game, but
he said he was straight, but
okay. All right.
I bet who they got this week? They got a Houston. They need
okay.
They got a gauntlet of a goddamn schedule. Houston, Packers, Jets, but
the Texans, man, they ain't broke out yet though, bro. We ain't seen a breakout season from the Texans yet. I mean, when he played the Bears, it was tough. The Colts game was, but I'm waiting for that 500-yard CJ Stroud game, bro. So hopefully we get it this week.
Yeah. How about next week in Jacksonville? How about that?
Okay, there we go. Yeah, he can do that. He can cook some Jaguar tenders up, man, for real. Some dinosaur tenders from the.
That sounds pretty good.
Dino tenders, man. Dino nuggets. You know what I'm saying? Cooper Kupp, breaking news. He out for multiple weeks. Jordan Love still out for maybe 3 to 4 more weeks. Addison, I'm not sure when he's gonna play, bro. You missed last week, and
I think Love might play this week.
Think so?
I saw some shit about him being a true game time decision this past weekend, and that it wasn't Fugaze, and that he may play this week. I mean, you look at the schedule, they got Tennessee on the road, and then they got Minnesota. Like Tennessee on the road, they may feel some type of way. But that's not exactly the easiest team to run against. And then Minnesota at home, especially if Minnesota's 3-0, like Packers are going to want Love to play.
If I'm going up against Will Levis, man, Joe Love, sit down for 1 more week, brother.
Malik's home, return to Tennessee.
You got to show him some love, man. Show the boy some love, man. Hook my boy Malik up. That's my dog, man. Check them America's Game tapes. I've been talking about him all summer, man. My boy need to be back, man. I'm glad he here. Addison, man, I don't know what he got going on. He missed the first 2 games, maybe missed another one. And Njoku, and probably another 2 more weeks. Kenneth Walker, I don't know if he week to week or what his status is.
I would bet on 1 more. He's historically had this injury. He had it in August 2022. He had a hernia surgery, didn't miss any games because it was in August. And then last year he had the same abdominal injury and missed 2.5 games. He missed half a game and then the next 2. So this year he's already missed half and then 1. So I would bet on him missing 1 more.
Okay. And a few more. Raheem Mostert missed this game. He might probably be week to week. Higgins hopefully looks like he should be playing this week because he missed the last 2 and they claim he was almost close this week. Jake Ferguson, they said he tried to play, but I didn't expect him to play no game. So maybe give Ferg 1 more week. Keenan Allen seemed like he week to week with his heel injury. That was kind of a surprise late that I thought he was going to try to stick it out and play, but I get it. He's 30 years old.
I was hella impressed with Rome playing.
Yeah, for sure. And he need to get back because Rome going to solidify that spot, man, soon. So Evan Ingram, hamstring, that's a tricky injury, man. In Jacksonville, maybe they panicking, maybe they won't. But I mean, who's the backup over there, Cody? He had a solid. Stranger, yeah, he had a solid game. He had like double-digit fantasy points, like 10 points, something like that. DK Metcalf came out of nowhere, and I didn't expect that hit that at all. It came in, boom. So him and then AJ Brown. I heard last night he out multiple weeks. First, I thought it was just AJ Brown is out last night. Then I hit multiple weeks, and it's like, bro, if you think about this list, AJ Brown, Debo, Higgins, Puka, CMC, Pacheco, Tua, Jefferson, Kupp, Love. I mean, all these guys, bro, were literally top 3-round picks in every single draft. Some people might got them on multiple teams. Some people their best balls and the underdogs are pretty much no money coming at all in them leagues, man. So, what's your biggest out of the top these top guys, man? Who you think which team in fantasy will we miss the most, and the real life too, real football? I mean, I'm sure CMC probably the biggest one. So
yeah.
I don't know though. What you think about Jordan Mason replacing him in for San Fran? It might not be bad. What's the biggest impact injury right now, currently though?
Well, I Kupp. Puka, so? But I think because Puka's already out, I think Kupp is massive because this team. I mean, you're literally depending on Tyler Johnson, who we loved as a prospect coming out for advanced metric reasons. Jay Witt's nasty. He's a great run blocker. He can get work, but I don't think he's ready to be a number one. And Demarcus Robinson is a career journeyman that he can get work as a wide receiver 3 and be competent, but push into that number one. Like I said, I think the Rams are on the verge of being. If the Rams, and the thing we talk about the Rams is like Niners, Bears, Packers. Fizz, we talk about them potentially beating the Bears next week. You brought that up, right? How you gonna? I'm not. This isn't against you. This is how are we supposed to expect the Rams to even compete with the Bears with that back end? With that back end in Chicago, which is one of the top 5, probably top 6 defensive backfields in all of football, with no Kupp and no Puka.
You're right. Only reason I gave them that game is I trust coaching, and I'm banking on the Bears maybe not be out coach Sean McVay. Like maybe he pulls a rabbit out of hat and a ram horn out his ass. I don't know, but maybe he figures it out. And I'm gonna just trust the coaching because the Bears haven't given us a game where they put up 30+ points or 20-something points. So if the Bears keep it as a 2-score game, 14 points, maybe the Rams etch it out as some capacity. That was my only thinking of that game, but I wouldn't bet on it and say, I guarantee it, So I think my biggest injury is probably gonna be Tua. I'm gonna go to the Tua side, man, with the concussion and the brain and us not knowing 100% when he's gonna be back. And this offense is ready to go right now. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Raheem Mostert, Achane, Jalen Wright, Jeff Wilson, Odell Beckham at some point. Everybody on this team is locked in. Contracts already signed. They ready to go right now. So Tua not being there to me is probably the biggest one because if they lose 3 games in a row, man, in that division, it wouldn't be bad, but the AFC as a whole, it'd be pretty tough. So I think Tua is my biggest injury only because of what it is, and there's really no timeline on it, honestly.
I think they signed Tyler Huntley yesterday. I think that
they did.
They came out and said Tyler Huntley's not an addition because he's going to take Skylar's job. But I think we all know he's going to take Skylar's job.
You think so?
I would.
What is?
As
only
long
reason
as
why I said it like
the
that,
system isn't completely, the New Testament to him. I think he's going to be fine.
Well, no, I like Huntley, but I think when you got guys like McDaniels, man, they want to ride with their guy. I think he's going to put confidence, which we always talk about. He's trying to. Now, I'm not saying he's going to work, but he's trying to put confidence in Skylar and let him know, hey, we didn't go sign some seasoned veteran. We signed Huntley. Like, I'm not saying it's a seasoned veteran out there, but I think he's going to try to coach Skylar up, man. And he didn't come out and say he was a coach, quarterback and open job. And he said, we're going to roll with Skylar. Now, again, Huntley can definitely come in there and take the job. I'm not saying skill-wise he can't, but I think he's going to try to coach Skylar up, man, and just put confidence in him, bro. I mean, they kept him on the roster. They could have kept Mike White. They let him go and kept Skylar. So that's a sign of faith right there, man, because Mike White, who we thought was the guy coming out of
Western Kentucky.
No, I'm saying when he came from the Jets, right? Then he came from the when he came from the Jets, everybody thought Mike White was going to come through and be that backup that Tua needed, and they kept Skylar over Mike White. So that let me know that they must trust something that they see in Skylar, and I'm just banking on them coaching him up and making him feel like this your job unless Huntley just needs to take it. So
I don't think you're wrong. I don't think you're wrong there, but I just think Skylar sucks.
Nah, me too. Me too. I'm just saying if Huntley is an addition, this is say Tua come back, they cut Huntley. I think they're gonna keep Skyler. So if they're gonna keep Skyler,
Yeah,
you gotta treat him like a guy that you want to keep, you know. So that's my only take on that one. But
that's fair
uh
play.
before we get out of here though, we're gonna talk the biggest team winners and team losers. So let's just go off of we ain't break down every team. So just give me like I got a list right here of the teams that right now are sitting at the top of the division or just had a big win that we just didn't expect to look like this. So the Saints, of course, right? 2-0. They riding high. The Bucks are right there with them, but it looked like the best team, second best team to me, because I'm gonna go with the Bucks on this one as far as the NFC South. So Saints and the Bucks, man. What you think about those two teams since they in the same division?
I think the Bucks look fantastic. The Bucks,
They do.
Vita
Chris
Vea
Godwin.
with an MCL sprain is going to be tough. But yeah, you brought up Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin. I mean, I bring up training camp a lot in these conversations with some of these teams, but when I saw these guys down there, I was like, this offense looks good. Rashad White doesn't look as good as he did at training camp, and Bucky looks a little better than he did. But Godwin and Evans, it was like Godwin's going to be pumped targets.
Yeah.
And Evans is going to dominate the red zone. And we've seen Godwin pumped with targets this past week. I had a nice little DraftKings lineup this last week and made me like $150 because I had Godwin and Amon-Ra. I ran it back. I had Goff as the quarterback, and that screwed the pooch. If I would have had Baker in there, I would have made like $500. But I mean, this is Godwin needs the respect. Like he was getting disrespected all through pre-draft, redraft, pre-draft, ADP. And that happens though, because Mike Evans is the one that gets the name recognition, but Godwin, we know, or some of us know that this is a legit dude. So I think Tampa is going to be competitive in this division. We'll see how long New Orleans can last, shooting their guns, to the damn moon and stuff. I think Tampa Bay is going to be the team that just coastlines and just, they're going to be the one that ends up with the 10, 11 wins. We'll see how, like I said, New Orleans is on a streak right now, but we'll see if that thing is, or if that thing goes,
yeah. I mean, they don't have nothing to lose, bro. And it seems like right now they in the backyard just playing NFL Street, and we just gonna play ball. Yeah, we gonna play ball, bro. We don't got no expectations. Don't nobody expect us to win anyway. So let's just go out there and play ball, So sometimes you need that confidence, man, over coaching sometimes. But I like the Bucks to win that division, and out of those two teams, I do like the Bucks. But another team, bro, that I wasn't high on, I thought it was gonna be downplayed a lot, is the Buffalo Bills, man. The Bills look really legit. I think they're still a run first team. The receivers don't look like they know who they really trust or who to go with. But I'm gonna go with the Bills on this list right here. I got also the Steelers, Vikings, Chargers, Seattle. So out of that little bunch, give me like one or two of those guys that you really like what you're seeing out of.
But I thought Buffalo looked good. I still think Jets in the long run of the season are going to be the ones that come to fruition in this division. Okay. Buffalo has, the quarterback advantage, the early season advantage. Week 1 and week 2 are very interesting because, and I'll talk about my team here in a minute, but I think week 1 and week 2 are super interesting because you get week 1, which you have months to prepare for. Week 2 is how you can adjust and situational. And for Buffalo, the situation was Tua goes down and they blitzed up on these guys on Thursday Night Football. Now they come back home. They got Sunday Night Football against the Jags. Or was it Monday night? I think it's Monday Night Football against the Jags. Then they go to Baltimore. Then they go to Houston. And then they go to the Jets on Monday Night Football. It's a big stretch here for Buffalo. Whereas the Jets, they're trying to iron things out with Rodgers. I mean, this is legit. Their first 2 games with Rodgers was at the Niners, at Tennessee. Now they get to go back home against New England, go back home against Denver, and we're really going to see what the Jets are. I think over the course of the next 2 weeks, if they can adjust, they should pummel both of these teams, the Patriots and the Broncos. They should pummel them both. But the team I'll bring up here is the Vikings, and strictly because Kevin O'Connell is. I mean, there was thought and rumor that obviously after last year, Nick Mullins, Josh Dobbs, everybody, like Kirk Cousins was always fine, but it looked just great with Kevin O'Connell. Is he the quarterback whisperer? The answer to the test is yes, right? They did 2 big wins over the Giants and the Niners, and Sam Darnold's QB10 in fantasy points right now, and he looks like, to my eye, which is trained, it's not an untrained eye,
Mm-hmm.
he looks like a more athletic, a more accurate, and a better Kirk Cousins. And that football, that 97-yard touchdown,
97 yards, bro. I watched that live.
fucking beautiful.
I saw that live.
That ball, I mean, there's a reason Darnold was a top 10 pick, right? He's got a beautiful football.
Mm-hmm.
And it took him a decade to find a guy that can really pull it out of him.
Yep.
And you know, you're seeing a top 10 pick at work right now, and that's what it is. And people are going to have a hard time. I mean, who knows how long it's going to take people to come around on it? But I'm not saying the Vikings are going to win 10 games or 11 games. I'd love to see it as a growing up a Viking fan my entire life. I'd love to see it. I don't think this team's that good in totality, but they have a great play caller on offense in Kevin O'Connell, and they got a phenomenal schemer on defense in Brian Flores, and they got just enough talent. If they can stay healthy, they can win a lot of games, and which is just gnarly to think about with Sam Darnold at the helm. But I'll just say that for Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm with you on the Vikings, man. I love the Vikings. I love Sam Darnold being over there. And I also think that with other teams like the 49ers out of sync, the Green Bay Packers injury, the Bears out of sync. It's a lot of teams out of sync in the NFC, man. The Vikings could possibly not only win their division, but make a playoff game with a top 4 seed, top 5 seed, top 3 seed. So I like the Vikings, man. I'm riding high with them. And I slept on them all summer. I ain't gonna lie, but I came around to Sam Darnold probably like around August. Maybe when I figured he had the job, and I think he's gonna really make it hard for Minnesota to just say, we're gonna let you walk, and JJ coming in. Like, if they go out there and they finish, let's just say top 3, man, what Jefferson gonna say? Like, hey, you know, get this rookie back in the game, or this my guy. Like, you know, they might make it hard, man. And we'll see how that situation work out. And let's just end on the bad note, bro, and go to losing teams, man. The loser teams right now that we all was high on coming into the year. The Bengals, the Ravens, the Colts, Rams, Jaguars, Dolphins. Give me 1 or 2 of those teams, man, that you just look at and say, maybe they could fix it or they are cooked.
The Ravens will not win 10 games. Until they line up and run Derrick Henry out of the deep pistol. Again, they won't win 10 games until they line up and run Derrick Henry out of the deep pistol or with Lamar under center. They just can't win running the offense how they are right now. There needs to be more brain power utilized in this thing. Zay looks great. Likely looks great. Andrews looks great. And Lamar looks fine. But not having a true run game. If they can get a true run game out
lost their identity, yeah.
If they can get a true run game, and this is the problem, is everyone loved, Derrick Henry to the Baltimore Ravens. And it's like,
he's gonna lead the league in touchdowns, right?
What the fuck don't you understand about scheme? Like, the scheme never made sense for Derrick Henry to go to Baltimore.
Honestly, Dallas is where he should have been, bro. I think Dallas would have definitely utilized him a lot more.
Dallas or Cleveland made the most sense in the fucking world.
Yeah. If you look at what they try and do with Zeke, because they trying to run the ball with Zeke, it seemed like they ran the ball more in waves. They was down 20 points and was still running with Zeke. Derrick Henry would be just fine in Dallas, honestly, bro. But I don't know if you saw this stat last week. I was looking at the game, bro. Derrick Henry had 7 carries for 6 yards in like the first 2 quarters, bro. I could not believe that. 7 carries for 6 yards.
It's all scheme, bro. It doesn't make any sense. The strategy used. You saw it in Tennessee. The guys built. You saw it in Alabama and you saw it in Tennessee. It's not that hard to play football with Derrick Henry and running back
at all. At all.
You go play action. And what's better than having Derrick Henry back there? And I know people think about, well, RPO sounds great with Derrick Henry and Lamar. You know what sounds a little bit better? It's like some play action. And getting Lamar out into that space.
Exactly.
And you got, Zay and Andrews and Likely running across. And it's not that hard.
It's not, bro.
So
yeah, they losing something, bro. I don't know what it is. And I'm telling you, they go against the Cowboys and they go 0-3. It's gonna be a big panic in Baltimore. And you don't want to be playing catch up. And you got the Steelers 2-0 in that division. Like, you can't be the Ravens at who you are, and you have the Pittsburgh Steelers with that offense they got is 2-0. Come on, bro. That ain't
I look up Ravens offense. I just typed Ravens offense into Google. First article that comes up, Yahoo Sports. Title, things could be different, but Ravens OC Todd Monken refuses to change.
Yeah, that's literally the exclamation point on the end, man. Todd is Todd, man. I don't know what he doing. And we dogged what's the name? He over there in with the Chargers, he 2-0.
Running the shit out the football.
Running the ball with JK. He brought back players back from the dead, man. He bringing players back from the graveyard and they 2-0. Got JK looking like a whole new guy, man. So I don't know, man. My team I really want to highlight is just bad overall. It's the Bengals, bro. I think the Bengals are done. I think they cook. They're not making the playoffs. Jamar Chase is literally going to be a problem all year. I think he's going to be a distraction. Joe Burrow looked like he ticked off at him. The offense ain't clicking. T. Higgins still hurt. Mike Gesicki had 98 receiving yards Sunday, bro. I didn't even know that, so I looked it up. Like Mike Gesicki had like 98 yards receiving, like 8 catches. But that's not a guy I'm gonna rely on leading my team in receptions and yards every week. And I just feel like right now, bro, the Bengals are all over the place. And I know it's only week 2, it's still early. But if I had to give you a team that I would say I'm panicking on, and I don't even think might not even make the playoffs, bro, it's the Cincinnati Bengals, man. I think Jamar Chase and that back and forth, bro, it's gonna be a problem all year long. And don't sound like a contract coming. So unless they get a hot game and they all go to the cookout together and give some fist pounds or something, I don't know what they got to do, bro. But Joe Burrow dies head back. Whatever the case, man, they better get it together. But it ain't sounding like the Bengals are fixed, and it sounds like they cook, brother.
Death, taxes, and the Steelers staying above 500.
Steelers staying above 500.
Steelers just sitting at the top of that division, watching the Ravens stay incompetent on offense from a scheme perspective, looking at the Bengals implode. Hey, yo, we're hot for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Cleveland Browns, Deshaun is Deshaun. And here's the damn Steelers, reinventing Justin Fields, scoring freaking 15 points a game, winning football games. That's going to be a fun one this week with the Chargers. My last note in recap from last week, my last note that I had written down is I brought this up a year ago, and I'm pissed off at myself that I faded away from the thought, and that is Nico Collins is literally Stroud's Marvin Harrison. And I said this a year ago on a Top 10 Takes show, literally a year ago. Like after week 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot believe I let myself waver on this. So the last 17 games, last year plus this year, 17 games. He played 15 last year, 2 so far this year. Nico Collins has 94 receptions, 1,549 yards, and 9 touchdowns. Do you know how many players in NFL history have finished a season? And I'm going to count. This is a hypothetical because Nico's got 17 games, which is a season with Stroud. Do you know how many players in NFL history have finished a season with 1,549 yards or more?
In a season.
History of football. It's not a tiny number, but it's.
I got you. Because CD didn't get it last year, and he was close. 15 plus.
CD had 1,700 last year.
Oh yeah. Oh, you know what? No, I was thinking the year before. 14 the year before. 17. Because Tyreek almost had 2,000. So that was 2 last year. Dang, 15. Give me like a 10, like a 10 point number range. Because what
do you mean like a 10-point number range?
I'm saying like in between, like from it. Okay, it's over 20, right? I'm sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Am I hot or cold?
It's over 20, but it's less than 100. I'll put it that way.
Oh God. Okay. All right. Look, we're gonna go. I'm just throwing off the top of my head. I'm gonna go 88 every time, baby. 88.
40.
Okay.
40 receivers in NFL history have finished a season with 1,550 yards or more. Devontae Adams is right there at number 40 with 1,553 his last year in Green Bay.
40.
And Nico Collins, 1,549 yards and 9 touchdowns the last 17 games with the Houston Texans. This is literally, and we all love Tank Dell, and Diggs looks great, but Diggs is literally a route savant. So is Tank. But Nico, I mean, I cannot believe I wavered on this. I thought, and this is a ownership thing here. And it's a Bayesian process, and I've adjusted in all formats. And I love Nico Collins as a prospect, but there was never a quarterback that could get him the ball how he needed it.
Yeah.
And Stroud is so maniacal in how he targets Nico Collins. And Nico is him. Nico's the guy. And every single week, it's going to be like this. It's going to be the 8 to 10 targets. He goes for $135 this last week. In week 1, he goes for 117. He's going to get these 8 to 12 targets every single week. Tank and Stephon Diggs are going to be the chain movers, but Nico's going to be the game winner. And I just adjusted him up to wide receiver 14 in Dynasty.
Okay.
I feel like he should go higher. He's still 25 years old.
Because Diggs was going higher than him in some drafts, and this whole offseason, he was going like 2 rounds higher in some drafts. So, I mean, I've been a Diggs guy. I've been riding high, man. I'm not going to lie. I just feel like the route running of Diggs is what I really like, but
100%.
Same like with like you just said, man. Him and Nico got a thing, bro. And it's because even Tank Dell, I thought Tank Dell was his main dog, and he still might be, but
he loves him.
Yeah, outside in the streets they hang out. But Nico, when it come to business, then them chin straps get laced up. It's Nico time, baby. So I'm with you.
It's that big boy. That's why I said like this is his Marv. And in college, he obviously had Marvin, and Marvin had, goddamn, what was it? 1,212 touchdowns, I want to say it was in college with Stroud that last year. It wasn't the last year because that was the year he had McCord, but 2022, 1,200 yards, 14 touchdowns for Marv, and that was the leading receiver. So, yeah,
I mean, I don't know, man. I'm with you. I think Nico need to put some respect on his name, man. Shout out to him and Stroud, and hopefully this week they have a big game. They ain't had a big game yet. And I see we got some Dynasty fantasy questions, man. We're gonna try to. Matter of fact, if y'all can put those in the comments, we'll get back with you on those, fellas. We definitely appreciate y'all dropping them in. And look, Cody, before we get out of here, man, you got anything else you want to speak on, bro?
I ain't got nothing else. I'm wrapped up on week 2. I'm ready for week 3. We're ready to get after it.
Okay. All right. We still working on this music thing, man. We're gonna find some music. We're gonna stop. No, that wasn't it. We're gonna just play some regular. But we the picks. We the number 1 picks, baby. So I guess, man, before we get out of here, man, every Tuesday, 10 a.m. Tap into the Patreon. Come sign up, man. Come holler at us. We always kick it with everybody. Great community. We got the NCAA Dynasty going on, 2 of them. So, I mean, if you want to join just for that, come play ball with us, bro. So every Tuesday, 10 a.m. Cookout. What else you got, Cody?
What are your teams? Let people know your teams in the dynasties.
Oh, okay. I got in one league I got Maryland, in the Big Ten league. In the other league I have Memphis.
I got Colorado State. Go Rams, Torrey Horton, and I got the UCLA Bruins.
Man, that 11-minute quarters is woo. Oh. Bro, I looked at that yesterday. I said, I gotta get off this. I'll be back tomorrow.
Brutal.
Yeah. It's bad, man. But anyway, man, y'all sign up, man. We appreciate y'all. Thanks for tapping in, baby. Next Tuesday, 10 a.m. We're gonna be here right on time. We out of this thing. Cook up.